Hi there! Okay, so I'm here in VR chat, which is awesome because I'm gonna start doing a thing where I make awesome YouTube videos like this in a similar format. Me sitting on this bed or wherever, to be honest, just kind of recording stuff about stuff that I find interesting. Some of it will be scripted, some of it won't. This is an unscripted thing. I'm just doing this at it's like nighttime right now. It's like roughly 9 a.m. and I'm just doing this because I think it's gonna be fun and I think people find it interesting, especially because I have something very particular to talk about. And I may make a more in-depth thing about this at some point. I've wanted to, and that may still come along. I just need to do a whole bunch of prep for that. But I kind of want to talk about a very interesting game that I finished not too long ago. One that you've likely never heard of. I'd be very surprised if you have. I'd quite like it if you have. It's quite a good game, and like it was covered at some point on maybe by some smaller YouTube channels. That's demo was, but no one has taken the time to talk about the full game. I don't think. I've seen people playing the full game only because there are parts where I had to look up a walkthrough, funnily enough. But I haven't seen anybody talking about it, so I'm gonna talk to you about it. You amazing camera, you. Sorry for not looking at the camera. I don't have eye tracking, so you know how it is. Anyway, without further ado, I'm just gonna kind of launch into what I'm talking about. Niravasi was a game that I played a bit ago. It actually started out as a thing that I was playing on stream, which, you know, editor me put something like right here about it, like, I don't know, a screenshot of me playing it or a short clip or something. It caught my attention one day while I was at school, just because I was browsing the new page of Game Jolt and I came across it, and I thought it looked super interesting. It was a very interesting playthrough, since I've seen, like, the entire game at this point. Not the secret ending, unfortunately. I haven't figured out how you unlock that, but I have seen the normal ending, and to be honest, the game was pretty good. Like, actually. If you... Of course, like, I'm assuming you've never heard of it. Niravasi is a game where you play as Mura, a cat who finds his way, essentially, into Space Atlantis as a part of a team. He's an archaeologist, and his goal just becomes to escape from the evil robots that have killed/taken the rest of the crew. So he is alone. He does pick up a radio signal later from a guy, but you know, I'm gonna get to that later. In general, one of the big things and one of the reasons why I picked it up, to be honest, was because it's actually a 3D game. It's a 3D RPG Maker game. I have never heard of such a thing before I played Niravasi, but I have to say I was pleasantly surprised with the way that not only the game presented itself, especially graphics-wise, it was pretty decent graphics-wise, but also with just the story. The story was pretty good. It was nice and entertaining. It kept my attention from start to finish, which, you know, is what a story can hope to do. And not only that, but it was just generally kind of a pretty decent playthrough. I didn't really get hung up on too many bits. There was like one part that I got hung up on, and that was the Ashani Bazaar, but that may have just been a me issue. I don't know. I really can't tell you. With that part in particular, is more of the game was not really informing me on where to go, to be honest. But just in general, like, you know, and that's where I got stuck when I streamed. When I streamed the game, I got stuck in the Ashani Bazaar for a while because I was just wandering around in circles because I didn't know what I was supposed to do. That was like the only time that I used a walkthrough, to be honest. Other than that, I did not use a walkthrough. So, you know, that's pretty alright. Pretty good record. It's not the sort of game where you need a wiki the whole time. Not like there even is a wiki, to be honest, of course, because it's like a really obscure game. Really, honestly, this is gonna be like a really short ramble video. I know this already. If I've interested you at all, go pick up the game. It's free. It used to be $10 on Steam, and I think on Game Jolt as well, but the developer has since made it free so that you have no excuse not to play it. And I can't give a better recommendation because the game was really good. I thought it was really good. I feel like it should be talked about more than it is, but I'm just surprised that no one else has been really talking about it. So I'm just here, you know, rambling and just being like, hey, the game's kind of cool, because the game is kind of cool. And that's something that I really like to see in my games, is when they are kind of cool and niche. This is one of the first games that I found that I can say that is well and truly a niche experience. Sure, I've played games like Scratches, which is, all things considered, a pretty niche game, which, good game, by the way. That's Scratches is awesome. But I can't really say that I have played as much of a niche game as Niravasi, just because of the fact that, you know, it was a random Game Jolt find that I just found one day by complete accident and just ended up loving. So, but seriously, I cannot recommend it enough. I highly recommend that you give it a try. Even if you don't enjoy it, that's great. There are certainly some hiccups, especially some personal things. You can see this in the review I left. One of the other, like, big just hang-ups for me is that the human art isn't the best. Admittedly, that's not like it should be a experience-ruining thing. It wasn't an experience-ruining thing for me, but it was certainly kind of off-putting, especially considering the fact that Mura did actually get their portraits redrawn at some point. I know this because I've looked through the developer's channel. The game is also, like, only a couple of years old. It really is not that new. I think it came out, if I'm remembering correctly, in, like, 2023, I want to say, which, like, was 3 years ago, which, oh my gosh, that feels kind of wild that 2023 was 3 years ago-ish. But regardless, it's not exactly the newest thing in the world, but I still highly recommend that you give it a try. Just, like, give it a try, and if it isn't your vibe, that's fine. That's totally a-okay. But, you know, you're better off trying it and finding something you like more than not trying it and not finding something you like, if that makes sense, you know. You gotta try it first. Enough gushing about it to a certain degree, though. I want to say that I highly recommend you play it, and there will just be more of these videos around of me trying to get more comfortable in content creation and the like, because I need to make more of that stuff, and I want to make more of that stuff. I love making stuff in general, and making videos seems like a very fun pastime, and making videos specifically like this that I'm gonna edit seems like a much easier task for me as a person than trying to edit down my VODs. Anyway, if you like what you see, like, subscribe, I guess. Use YouTube's hype feature, it's pretty cool. I hate saying that. It feels so yucky to say, but, like, from what I remember, YouTube, like, rewards people for saying that, so I can't really do anything about it, so. But, like, if you would maybe want to see me play some more obscure things, keep an eye out on my Twitch, twitch.tv/GenieCMD. I try and stream Wednesdays and Fridays, weekly. Sometimes I don't make it, that's just how life is, but that is generally my schedule. So, if you want to keep up, if you want to maybe see some more games that you have never, ever heard of before, or maybe some ones that passed over your head, or ones that are a part of a series but did not get covered by anybody else, go check out my Twitch. I do a whole lot of stuff there. Anyway, I don't really know how to close out a video like this. I'll see you whenever I post the next ramble. It's been fun. I just decided to sit down and do a VR chat recording. I hope you do that as well. You know, it's kind of silly, kind of fun, but, you know, see ya. Bye-bye.